there was two NYPD cop, John Gaw and Linden. And Larry was, during that time it was what, 1980, 88, 87, 87, 87. I just came back from Hong Kong, and I was with Dananjay, One Eye, Big Eye, John, and we were at Triangle Billiards. Triangle, it's shut down now. Used to be at Kings Highway. So we have two NYPD and one freaking White Tiger gangster hang out together. I assume they're good friends, childhood friends or whatever. So there was an incident that happened at Triangles. There was a fight. And what happened was that John, One Eye John, remember that girl Jennifer that used to go to Merle? Yeah. So what happened is that they were flirting. One Eye John and Jennifer were flirting. And during that time, Jennifer was going out with Linden, one of the NYPDs. So they were off duty, they were shooting pool, we were shooting pool. And for some reason, they started flirting with each other. And Linden didn't like it. So being NYPD, of course, he has a power trip, and you're a young kid, and he probably figured that you're a freaking gangster or whatever, you know. Stop that, cut that bullshit out, you know. But I didn't know how it escalated. I was shooting pool. I was just a kid then. Wanted to shoot pool and just have fun with my friends. And all of a sudden, they just got into it. I saw them fight, and then I jumped in. So it was 4 against 3. Me, Yu Ming, Aquan, One Eye John, and 4 of us against the 3 of them. Being that they're older than us, we were 17, 18, and they were like in their late 20s and 30s, early 30s. So we were fighting, and all of a sudden, John dropped a gun. One Eye John, my guy, he dropped 25 that we got from Shorty, which we got through from you, Mike. I don't know if you remember that. We had a 25 caliber little pistol. So I scrambled and I grabbed the gun. And for some reason, Linden was on the floor. So I pulled a freaking gun right to his head. And all of a sudden, all I heard was, freeze! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! And I turned around. There was like at least 15 or 20 freaking cops. Pulled out their guns. Back then it was a .38 revolver that they were carrying. That was back in the 80s, 87, yeah. And they locked us up. I dropped the gun. I said, yeah, okay, I dropped the gun. I raised my hand. Didn't want to get shot. All right? And being back then under the age of 18 really means something to the court, to the law. They're not that harsh on us. So I figured, you know what? Let them lock me up. I'll be out the next day or something like that. Which really that's what happened. But what happened was that when I got to the precinct, the 6-1 precinct, knowing that there was 2 NYPDs involved, off-duty NYPD cops involved in a fight, their brotherhood, and I almost shot one of them. Of course, they beat the shit out of me. They whipped my ass. The fucking cops whipped my ass. And then when they took me to court, I happened to be arraigned by a lady judge. She probably have kids of her own, you know. So she got angry. Said, "Who the hell beat up who did this to you?" I said, "The cops at the precinct." Yeah, sounded like a little boy. So she felt compassion against me, for me, and said, "I want him in a hospital right now. I want him to get checked up and make sure that he's okay before returning to court." She actually posted my this is what they call a RR. So they released me on RR.
On the town itself.
Yeah, and but they also had the bailiff called the EMT to come pick me up and brought me to the hospital. Went to Coney Island Hospital, got checked up, and then I got home from there. I got released from there. I think the next time I went to court, they asked me if I plead guilty. I said no. I happened to just pick up that gun. That gun wasn't mine. He said, who did it belong to? I don't know. I just found it, and they were attacking me while I was shooting pool. I didn't know they were cops. Even if I knew they were cops, I don't know what they were gonna do to me. They're much bigger than me. So I pleaded not guilty. And then I think the third court session was when when the prosecutor says, you know what, he's a minor, underage of 18, first offense. So they said, you know what, why don't we just offer him 100 hours of community service? And I said, you know what, I'll take it, because my lawyer told me, which was the legal defenders back in the days. They said that you're underage. So whatever happens now, as long as you plead to this case and do the 100 hours, and if you don't get in trouble for the next 6 months to a year, everything will be expunged. It won't show up in your record. I said, fine, I'll do it. I'll do the 100 hours. And that's what I did. I went to do the 100 hours. But I hated those guys, John Gaw and Linden. They were hiding behind a badge. Fucking bullies. Bullied the neighborhood kids, I just didn't like them. I saw the way they act. Freaking ran into Linden a couple of times also too during the later years. When I got out of jail the first time, the state jail, I did 18 months in 1990. I came out in 91. And I ran into him. I was working. And he says, I know who you are. You're Ghost Shadow. In front of his fucking friends. I said, come on, Linden, stop. Cut the bullshit. I said, what the fuck you want? I said, you know who I am. I know you. We know each other back from Brooklyn. Stop the fucking bullshit that you're investigating or whatever. I'm working right now. So leave me the fuck alone. I'm clean, all right? But he still picked on me. Drove me against the wall, patted me down in front of his colleagues, acted like shit. And one of them pulled his badge out and says, I said something like, you fucking NYPDs are all the same. A bunch of fucking idiot motherfucking cops, right? And then one of them suits pulled out a badge and said, I'm not NYPD, I'm DEA. That's when I knew that he was working with the drug task force. I remember all that shit. I held it against him. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to remember it. One of these days I'm going to use it against him. Never knowing that I was going to use it against him in later on in the years when the feds locked me up. And they asked me if I have anything to say. I said, I got nothing to say. When the feds locked me up. That was when they rounded all the Ghost Shadows. The Flying Dragons, the Ghost Shadows, everybody. I was one of the last ones to get locked up because they couldn't find me. But when they did find me, they had pictures of me, and they reckoned one of the supervisors of the FBI task force probably said, yeah, I know this guy. I know that's exactly him. I was wearing a cap. I was walking around Martin Pella, and they surrounded us. It was probably like around at least 10 to 15 FBI's. Some of them was in tactical gear with AR-15s or M16s or whatever the hell it was. And they surrounded us. And the first thing I did was I raised my hand. I said, hey, I got nothing on me. I got nothing. I don't got a gun. I don't got nothing. Why you guys stopping me, right? So they pulled a picture of me. I saw the picture of me, but I was a little bit skinnier in person than the picture. I said, that's not me. I think you got the wrong person. And one of the agents was about to let me go, right? And then the supervisor grabbed him by the head and pulled my cap off. And once he pulled my cap off, put the picture right next to me, that's him. Take him. That's the one that we want. And they took me in. So when they took me in, it took me like, they offered me 30 to life. I was like, for what? So my lawyer was telling me, this is what they're charging you. distribution of heroin, the RICO Act of racketeering, gang affiliated, triad, organized crime, and all that shit. And you're also involved with 3 homicide. I said, get the fuck out of here. I said, I got nothing to say. He said, well, we're gonna see how this plays out. I'm gonna check out what type of evidence they have. So what do you plead? I said, of course I plead not guilty, right? So during arraignment, I pleaded not guilty, and they dumped me in MCC. That's when I ran into Fuk Ching Fuk Ching was there. I was at 7 North, an MCC, Metropolitan Correction Center. Fuk Ching was there. Who else? Bafu Wai was there. And who else was there? I was at 7 North. And a few other guys that from Fuk Ching. Let me see. Dalok Zai was there. I don't know if you know Dalok Zai. It's right hand man. So Dalok Zai was there too. And the funny thing is that once I saw them, these guys like, oh shit, it's you. Oh, they fucking finally got your stupid ass. I said, yeah. Oh, everybody's here. I was like, yeah. He said, everybody's here. So they gave me some clothes, some sweatpants. Gave me a pair of shower shoes, shower slippers, and some soap, and some food. Fed me. That's the first thing people do in jail. Is that when they run into people that they know, they take care of each other. After all, we are Asians. We're all Asians, and we look out for each other while we're in jail.
It doesn't matter what gang you're affiliated with.
Nah.
You're in prison. That all goes out the window.
It all goes out the window unless you kill you harm my family or I harm your family. We had some sort of thing going on that I freaking hate your guts forever and this and that.
So generally, when the Asians are in prison,
they stick together. They stick
and
together.
They leave the beef out in the streets.
The beef is over. What are you gonna fucking fight? You're in the same goddamn boat. You're going everybody against the fucking U.S. government. What are you fighting for? What is there to fight for? I didn't kill your father. You didn't kill my father. There was no harm in family. It was just me against you. I didn't like you. You didn't like me. You're in a different fucking gang. I'm in a different triad. That's it. That's the only reason why we fought back then, because of money, turf, and face. Or whatever else. If you have a fucking girl problem, which I never really give a shit about girls. Not that I'm a male chauvinist. We just didn't care. There's more girls to go around. Then they need to fight over a fucking girl. I think that's the stupidest thing. And then where was I?
Those were your early encounters with John Gaw. John Gaw was eventually arrested for taking money from.
To be honest with you, I didn't know. I see him a lot, but I was only middle management. I didn't give a shit about who they fucking paying off and Fifth Precinct. I'm pretty sure they did, but I didn't know who. I didn't really care. It wasn't my business. I stay away from cops. Cops stay away from me. I don't give them trouble. I don't give Fifth Precinct trouble. I don't start shit in my area, in my turf. We have a saying in Chinese is that where you eat, you don't shit. So that's the place where we eat. I'm not gonna shit over there and start trouble and create problems where the freaking cops are gonna bust out chops. I got freaking guns, drugs, and everything up in the fucking in our clubhouses. Why would you start trouble and give them a fucking chance to go grab a warrant and come and fucking search your place and confiscate everything and give them a chance to lock you up, right? So we don't give them problems and they leave us alone. As long as we don't create anything that's going to be in the newspaper or the 10 o'clock news, they don't really give a shit. They always have this doctrine, let the Asian fuck with each other. Let them kill each other off and we'll sweep the fucking streets afterwards. You're in NYPD, you should know about that. But jail, everybody take care of each other, as long as you're Asian. It don't matter if I ran into some BTK guys. There was no beef. I said, yo, you BTK? He said, yeah, BTK. I said, no, not anymore. but now we're BOP. So we joke around like that. There was no more gangs when we go back to when we're in jail, when we get locked up. We don't hold grudges. It's stupid. It's nonsense. It's silly. I mean, I know other races do. You know, they still have like the Mexicans and Mexicans and the Colombians. They fight. Maybe the Ecuadorians. You know, fight amongst each other. But we don't do that type of stuff. We try to band with each other because we're still considered minority in a federal prison. Right. The most we probably had in Otisville was probably like around. We're probably like out of the whole population, we're probably 1/10 of everybody during that time. The height of all the Asian gangs getting locked up in the federal BOP. I was there for a week at 7 North, and then I got transferred for some reason. They transferred me, and they took me up to 9 North. That's where I ran into the Flying Dragons, Cowboy, Woody, Ox, and I was like, you know, they heard of me. They never, because they were older than me. They don't mess around with the street no more. They were just selling drugs. At the end of the right before we all got locked up, they was just selling drugs. They were just doing their thing. Everybody was just doing their thing. We're not kids no more. We're adults. Why bother fucking around and start shooting each other again? There's no need for that. They heard of me. They knew I was a nuisance in the early years for them, giving them trouble. But for some reason, like I said, it's an Asian thing. They took me in, fed me. I went in there. I got nothing. I couldn't even call out. I don't even have a freaking card number yet. I was just in there for a week. The counselor haven't seen me. I haven't established any type of contact with outside with my parents or my family or anybody. So they took care of me. I couldn't get money in my account. I don't have no money in my account. I'm a rookie in there, a new jack. So they took care of me. Gave me food, gave me sweats, gave me whatever that was necessary. You know, like toothbrushes. If you're gonna use the BOP toothbrush, it's gonna freaking fuck your gums up. All right? So they gave me brand new toothbrushes, toothpaste. You know, you don't want to use those Corecraft. Corecraft. That's the industry that the BOP works with. Having the convicts working there. You know. Building chairs, seats, furniture for the federal government. And also toothpaste. It's not only freaking license plates. We don't do license plates, the places that I was at. Yeah. Any questions?
Any incidents in prison?
Lots of incidents.
State, federal? Let's start with the state.
State was very calm. There was only a few Chinese, Asians there. Stayed together. The blacks, Hispanics don't mess with us. The whites don't mess with us. Everybody stayed to themselves. Nobody. I mean, when you go to jail, the first thing you have to learn is to mind your own business. Don't stick your fucking nose where it's not supposed to be. Keep your mouth shut. Talk less. Do your own thing. Stay by yourself. You should be okay. You don't fuck around with homos. You don't play with the drug game inside in jail. You don't fuck around with gambling or fucking any type of things that would trigger a problem. You should be okay. If you're not a homo. Now, I'm not that I'm against a homosexual, but there's a group of Muslim Brotherhood. They don't fuck with that shit, all right? Because based on religion, you're a man. You don't fuck another man's ass, all right? So that's all. That's out of the question. Now, if you're not a child molester, if you're not a rat, I'm talking about the early days of in the 90s, 80s, late 80s and 90s. They weren't rats in the system yet, all right? Feds all state. Nowadays, I don't know. I heard fucking everybody's talking. Everybody's ratting to each other. Once they get locked up, before they even fucking see the prosecutor, they'll be raising their hand. Let me see the prosecutor. Let me talk, you know? Let me talk. I got some information. I don't want to do no jail time. I can't do the jail time. Like fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine. Look at that motherfucker. Rat on his own people. Out here, making music. Still fucking bling bling all around, you know? That's ridiculous. You can't. It didn't happen back then. The jail system is totally different. You have to be a straight, honorable person. All right? Don't fuck around being a homo. Do your own time. Mind your own business. Don't stick your nose where it's not supposed to be. Don't fuck around with drugs. You should be okay. You know? You should be all right. Same thing with the feds. Every groups take care of their own. What I mean by this is that you have the black crew, you have the Spanish crew, you have the Italian crew, you have the Asian crew. Right? Now, if there's a rat that comes on a compound, roaming around, and he's Asian, the other guy's like, yo, comes to the leader of the Asian gangs, you know, like the elders. It's like a chair. How do you say a committee? The Asian committee. There's a chairman, right? And the chairman is usually the most senior, the one that did the most time. He's gonna be the one that lecturing everybody. Keep your nose clean. Everybody just stick together. Don't fuck around. Stop making problems. So in BOP, a federal prison is a little bit different than state. Federal prison, inmates run the freaking the jails. They run the prison. How they run it? They hold on to their own people. They control their own people. If there's something that happened, like between another group of people, one person go, everybody goes. All right. That's how we protect each other. You don't let the person get their ass fucking whipped. Oh, I don't know that Chinese kid, and just and walk away. No, you can't let that happen. Let's see you have to investigate and see what's going on. What did he do to for somebody to put a fucking hit on him in jail? If he didn't do anything that was that serious, it was just an argument over a fucking an argument, verbal argument, or because of a microwave. They always fight over a fucking microwave all the time. Or you didn't steal anything. It's just a minor thing. Let's just squash it. Talk it over, squash it. I'll take care of my guy. He won't cause you get an edge, no problem. You take care of your guy. Let's not cause any problem. Let's not fight. So that's how inmates run the prison. If they are selling, if there's a group of people that are selling drugs, let them sell their drugs. Just don't affiliate with them. Say hi, bye, and that's it. When you walk around the compound. BOP is pretty easy to do time. All right. I'm pretty sure you heard about the Aubrey. What's that guy? The black guy that got fucking killed by those 3 white guys. And they recorded that thing, and they're gonna get 30 years of life sentence in the state of Georgia, and then the feds would took over and say that the feds gonna prosecute them and supersede and take them over to the feds. So the family of the Aubrey told the judge, I said, yo, come on, seriously, I mean, them being alive ain't gonna bring my son back, But now. Knowing that, a lot of people knowing that the federal prisons are much easier to do time than the state, you're gonna take him to a fucking country club to do that. Even in the max or the penitentiary in the feds, it's kind of, I think it's kind of sweet. If I had to do time, I prefer to do time even in the max penitentiary in the feds instead of doing it in the state. The state's rough. Stabbing 24/7 for no fucking reason. They just do it just for the fun of it. Some people got a couple lives. They don't give a shit. Don't like the look of your fucking face, and they're gonna stab you. They're gonna kill you. So the state is much rougher. So why I said that those 3 white guys, the family wanted them to stay in the state. Let them suffer. Let them do real time. Not fucking country club fucking jail time. The state was country club. I'm telling you, I did it. It was country club. Even my uncle did 22 years. He said it was fucking country club. It wasn't tough at all. It was pretty. The only thing that you have to go do is that you have to have a strong will, strong mind, and not get fucked over by outside, like your girlfriend or your wife. You probably might hear over the phone that she wants a divorce from you. She's fucking dating another guy. Some guys I see that tough as a fucking goddamn nail. But once it comes to a relationship while they're in jail, it's out of their control. They can't do none. They go fucking berserk. They go crazy. I seen a couple guys broke down and cried. Full grown motherfucking men. Broke down and cried. Saying that, telling us that their wife is having an affair, fucking another dude, or the best friend's supposed to be watching out, taking care of the family, Instead, he's really taking care. He's fucking the shit out of wife, But once you go to jail, you're expected. You're gonna have to expect that shit's gonna happen. Once I got locked up, I had a fiance. I fucking broke up with her right away. I knew that it wasn't gonna fucking last. She said she was. I asked her before I got locked up. I said, "What if I get locked up one of these days? Do you gonna wait?" She said she'll wait 5 years. I said, once she said she'll wait 5 years, I told her, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Now, don't even wait 1 day. All right, go about yourself. Go do what you want to do. All right. Number one, I'm gonna be a man about it and just fucking cut ties. Makes me feel better in jail. If somebody comes up to me, "Oh, your girl," psst, I'm in jail. What the fuck you expect me to do? I'm not there for her. She's gonna have to find some other guy. I'm doing fucking time. What, you think she's gonna fucking you want her to wait what 10, 15 years for you? When I got locked up, they offered me fucking 30 to life. What am I supposed to do? Tell them, "Oh, babe, wait for me. Wait 30 years. I'll be home soon." All right? That's ridiculous. No woman's gonna fucking wait for you. And even if they do, by the time you get out, the guilt that you endured during these 30 years of her fucking waiting for you, can you do it? I mean, unless you're a really fucking selfish person, yeah. I don't think I could do it. Not even 5 years. Just let her go. I feel bad. I feel really bad. During the first 2 years I was locked up, I heard stories about her. Not that she was fucking around. I would rather her go and fuck every goddamn guy that she comes across, and have the fun of her life. Right? Instead, I heard that she was drunk every night, fucking break down and cried. She goes fucking berserk, crying over me. It hurt her. And listen, that was more. That was more. I was more guilty. I felt more guilty than in life than that. That really fucking killed me when I heard about it. I never contacted her until I came back home. I think I only had one conversation with her, and that's about it. I didn't want to, lead her on, thinking that there was still something going on between us. It's a different life when I got home already. When I got home after all these years in prison, she have her life. I have starting my new life. Let's not mix things up and fuck each other up. Yeah. It hurt pretty bad in the beginning when I heard that she was drunk every night.
When they first brought you in, what homicide were they investigating? Which ones?
The two bodies in East Broadway mobile gas station.
The homicide that occurred in the gas station.
Yes.
East Broadway.
Yes.
And what other homicide?
And the other homicide was, let me think.
And what other shootings?
Let me see, which one was it that they had me on? They had me attempt murder also. They said I was about to do a hit on somebody. Dong On Fai, the guy that died and him and his friend died in front of his mom's house in Queens in a white Eagle Talon.
Wasn't there a shooting in the cemetery?
Cemetery, no, I'll tell you which was involved. I knew about it, but I didn't say nothing. All right? That's why I was involved. If you know, in the federal law, if you knew about the homicide, but you didn't report it, you're part of the conspiracy. All right. So what it was is this guy named Lum Ping from Bayard Street. I forgot which one. It's what number was that on Bayard Street? So he was supposed to be FBI informant. He died in the stairs of Jiao, right across the street from 50 Bayard. Yeah, so that's where he died. He was an FBI informant, and one of our guys shot him. I'm not gonna say who, I don't know if he's locked up or not, So I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it on right here on this interview, but the feds have record of it. They already know that I knew it, and then when I plead, it was included. So it was right now it's all erased. They can't prosecute me over it, even if I say something about it nowadays. But I still don't want to mention his name. It was 3 homicides together, combined together.
And what was that cemetery?
So,
cemetery shooting?
Cemetery was
That was against the
one
BTK.
of I was not around during that time. I was locked up in the state already, but I caught wind because one of my girl came up to Marcy Correctional Facility, upstate New York, and told me about it. I said that how guys ordered some us got some guys from Dallas, Texas, and came up to 2 guys came up to New York, and one of the other guys from our group, 3 of them all together went there with shotguns and Uzis. I believe it was a Uzi and a Mac-10, 3, and shot up the coffin because I believe the Alliang Association said that you gotta teach let David Tai and his guys know that, listen, Chinatown is still Chinese, not Vietnamese. So they keep them in line.
David Dye was the leader of the BTK.
BTK, yeah. Yeah. I think he was arrested already during that time.
He was already in prison.
He was already in prison. So Amigo was leading. Amigo,
Amigo
the
took
one
his
that died.
place.
The one that died, the coffin that got shot up. That was his funeral.
That was his lieutenant. And
Yeah, that was his funeral though. That was his funeral. Amigo's funeral.
There were a lot of shots fired at that
Yeah.
shooting.
I think they injured 2 people, but nobody died. And the coffin was shot up really bad with a sort of shotgun. Yeah.
Here it is. You see this?
Yeah. I won my battle. I finished battle in my shadow. Yeah. I shot my arrow. It's time to think it over. I had to. Yeah. I touched that ladder. It didn't really fucking like matter. Yeah. I watched them gather. Yeah. Cause 92 is when it all shattered. Yeah. On the bread, BK. One thought, get paid. Move work, catch phase. What more can I say? Be first in battle. Trust me, life matters. Raised up, no father, more like a Chinatown guy. Go shadow.